Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf the Beorning. We are back here in the Dome of the Sun with Arador, and let's see what he has to say.
The council has a plan to assess the city's food stocks.
I am glad you've come back, Pineclaw. The council has just heard Ingol's report on the situation in Talaf Anor, and the captain of the Outwall painted a picture, but it was not a rosy one. Merenthine and Mirador have been working on a plan to assess the food stocks and other supplies within the city, and they could use your assistance. They are right over there, and we'll be glad to help. Of your help, yes, of course. Alright, let's see. Over down this way. Hello there. You wanted to speak with me of the food supply situation?
The deadliest enemy during a long siege? Hunger.
The burden of governments is heavy, but is especially so in time of war. We have not seen Steward Denethor since Prince Imrahil carried his son back into the city, but we do not need to hear his words to know what awaits us. A siege, possibly a long one. The greatest enemy during a long siege is not necessarily the foe outside the gates, Pineclaw. The greatest enemy is hunger. With the gates shut, we will not be able to resupply the city. The farms and fields that feed Minas Tirith during peacetime will be cut off from us by the lines of the enemy. They might as well be on the moon for all the good they will do us. Actually, the fields and farms that feed Minas Tirith look like are being trampled upon. No, I won't go into that. And the only food we will get is the food that we already have. Miranda will continue more, but it is worrisome fact that we might simply not have enough. Alright, what is this?
These inventories will help us ration food during the siege.
I have taken stock of the flow of goods into the city over the past few days, and combined with the existing list of food and supplies we are storing. This is given to me an inventory of our goods, Pineclaw, and I have divided it into sections for each of the main storage rooms of Minas Tirith. I ask that you take these inventories, one for the goods in the upper stores, and one for the goods of the lower stores. Speak to the guards outside of each, and show them my mark, and they will allow you inside. Compare the inventory with the actual goods, and ensure that we have all the supplies that we expect. Only then will we be able to properly ration the supplies if the siege proves to be long. Right. If the siege proves to be long. Now, personally, I think the last thing they need to worry about is a long siege, because, let's face it, the enemy is most likely going to want to deal with us before the Rohirrim arrive. They know about them. It looks like she's the one who's guarding the food over there, but let's first take care of a couple of plaques so that I could reduce the number of names that are listed whenever I look at one of these things. Alright, here's another one. Upper stores. Hello there, I've been asked to take an inventory of the food supplies we have.
You are welcome to enter the stores, but remove nothing.
Yes. On whose authorities do you wish to gain access to the upper stores? Ah, Tulharl wants an inventory. Okay, very well. Yes, that is the right mark. You are welcome to enter the stores and compare its contents with the inventory, but remove nothing. Alright, she takes her job serious. Most seriously. Now, let's see if we can take our inventory. Let's head to the very back. See what we can find. Is this the very back? Alright, let's look at the inventory here. This is the upper inventory. Now compare. Yep, alright. Everything all nice and accounted for. Nothing unusual here. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're not going to have any problems with dealing with food here. And we're now approaching the lower stores. Hello there. I have been asked by the Lord of the Stores to do an inventory. That's right.
Go inside, if you must. It's a waste of time and effort.
Yes. Why do you seek access to the lower stores? No one is supposed to be in there. Well, yeah, I see. Why? Is there really a need for this sort of extra work? Shouldn't we be more concerned with bolstering the defenses? Once the enemy is lined up outside the walls of the city, Miradol may wish he had not wasted effort on the redundant task of which he has set you. Well, yeah, this is his mark though, so go inside if you must. But I think it's a foolish waste of time and effort. Finish your task quickly, and may turn your eye onto more important errands. Oh, good grief. There's always one in the crowd. Now let's head on back and find out what's, well, in store, or at least in the stores. Let's see. Well, that looks rather bare, doesn't it? Well, let's do a count. Yeah, something's missing. Alright, let's go and speak with the guard and see if he has any idea what's going on here. Something's missing. And he thought it was a waste of time. Well, I checked the counts and it looks like there's something missing in here. You have any idea what's going on?
Yes. Are you finished?
Well, I see. I should have mentioned this when you arrived, but I've had my suspicions for some time now that there might be a rat problem inside the stores. They must have gnawed their way in and spirited away some of the food, especially the grains and cheeses. You should tell Mirandal. He may need to account for slightly lower totals to the food in the coming siege. It might be best if he lowers the tally of the food he expects to ration. The rats will keep getting in, I'd imagine. Nothing to be done about that. It's hard to guard against those. Yeah, I guess it is hard to guard against those. Ah, rats. Always an eternal problem when you're trying to keep food at bay. Right, now let's head back up to the court. Actually, where is Ekadon? Ekadon can be found at the south end of the second circle. South end of the second circle. So therefore, let me find that and we can start on that quest. We are now on the second circle and heading towards our next quest giver. And I hope no one minded the little fake opening I had yesterday for my preview video. Start out as if it were an opening to an episode of this. I thought that would be slightly amusing, and I suspect you're going to say, yeah, very slightly. Now let's see, I guess this is our quest giver up here. And yeah, here he is. Hello there.
A group calling themselves the Withered Tree commits acts of cruelty in the city.
Only a fool would deny that things look bleak for only a fool would deny that things look bleak for Gondor Pineclaw. A group calling themselves the Withered Tree has begun committing acts of cruelty and dissent within the streets of Minas Tirith, and their actions have lowered the morale of my men and the folk that remain. These lower circles of the city are especially at risk of suffering at the hands of the Withered Tree. Perhaps the passwords to the upper levels remain out of reach, at least for now. If you would help to raise the spirits of my guards and the citizenry, you would tear down any seditious parchments within the Withered Tree have posted upon the walls. While you do this task, speak to the despairing folk you find and try to lift their spirits. Hope may be in short supply, but even a little of it may go a long way during the trials that we face in the hours ahead. Confine your search to the first and second circles of the city for now. Alright, so I need to tear down some posters and to inspire despairing citizens. I suppose I could try that. I suppose turning myself into a bear won't encourage them too much. Like, ah, bear! What's the bear doing in the city? There's one poster. Okay, yeah, let's... Hello there! Now, keep your hopes up. I hope you're right. Good grief. Really lifted his spirits up. Remember the long and glorious history of Gondor and how we fought against Sauron. No, you're wrong! Oh, well. Anyone else here could? Well, he seems to be giving his own speech. Hopefully it's not a Withered Tree speech. Down this way? Oh, the New Keep, of course. Our friendly little inn that we visited earlier to handle that. Alright, here we go. Yeah. I guess I'm going to try to inspire a few more people, tear down a few more posters, and when I'm done with that, I'll get back to you. We have finished our inspiring words, and we're back with Ekadon.
Some men in the garrison have begun listening to these whispers.
You have done well to inspire some of the common folk that listen to the lies of the Withered Tree. It is all too easy to listen to their whispers when there is little certainty when a day will dawn tomorrow. We cannot listen, or we will give in to despair, and that only ensures that the dawn will be further off. Some men in the garrison have also begun to listen to these despairing whispers. Find them in the northern side of the city, in the second circle, and speak words of courage to inspire them to go on. Perhaps tales of your adventures will help, Pineclaw. Find them and stir their hearts to bravery, or they will be no use to anyone in the battle to come. Alright, so first encourage a few regular citizens, at least a few that are left back in the city. And now it is time to get the soldiers in. Let's face it, the soldiers are even more important to lift their courage up, because if the soldiers aren't ready to fight, then the war's over. And it looks like we found some soldiers here. A group of guards huddle in a knot. They speak in low, sorrowful voices. That doesn't sound good. Hello there!
How can we hope to have victory?
We heard the news from beyond the North Gate of the second Morgul host, and I was watching with my own 2 eyes when the Prince of Dol Amroth came to the city with Faramir. The young captain's face was as pale as death. His father, the steward, lets none in to see him. He may have already died for all we know. You are an adventurer, but I would wager you have never been in this grim a situation before. How can we hope to have victory? Nay, not even that. How can we hope to survive? Well, how can we hope? Perhaps I should speak of Arcador. The memory of adventures might help to inspire. Or, of course, the courage of Helm's Deep, the memory of the Hornburg. Or, of course, the story to inspire courage of my own adventures. How about Helm's Deep? That is the most fitting story in this entire... What's this one over here? Marzible. Oh yeah, like I'm going to give them courage from the Book of Marzible. Yeah, let's try Rohan. The story of Rohan as we were at the Hornburg. That also looked hopeless.
Can it be? Can we find such courage as this?
Can we find such courage? I do not know if we can, but I know that we will try. We are men of Gondor. We will not give up hope. Not now. And not ever. You have reminded us that even when the night is darkest, dawn must come at its ending, and will banish even the blackest midnight. You have my thanks, adventurer, for the reminder of the courage that can be found, even when it is thought lost. Good. Now that they are encouraged, we could head back to Ekadon and tell him that the soldiers are, well, at least these soldiers are no longer despairing. We are back with Ekadon. I have spoken with the men and they are encouraged.
I fear this will get worse before it gets better.
But I thank you for inspiring my men to go on, at least for a while. I must confess something to you, however. I myself am going to get worried. This is going to get worse before it gets any better. But we will stand against it for as long as we can, will we not? We will. With adventurers such as you aiding in the defense, we may stand a little longer than we might, Pineclaw. And I am glad for it. So that just means that we have to return to Myrdal and the Dome of the Sun, and our little tour here will be complete. We're back in the Dome of the Sun, and about to give a report. Myrdal, the upper stores, they seem to be all accounted for. Lower stores apparently have some trouble with rats.
Well, do we have all the goods we expect?
Rats, I see. Well, that is a shame, but it is not terribly surprising. Rats need to eat as well, and they can sense coming danger as well, or even better than we can. It makes sense to me that the rats might covet our goods. I will set the total amount of food to be rationed slightly lower than I planned in order to account for the rats. Well, thank you, Pineclaw. Well, yeah. Or is it rats? 4-footed rats? Or 2-footed rats? Alright, I delivered my report on the rats, but what's really going on?
All right, I admit the deed.
What?
What will you do?
You come back? Did you tell Myrdal about the rats? Yes, I told him about the rats. Yes. But I don't quite believe it. Yeah. Well, please have mercy on me, please. Yes. I did take extra food. My family could not bear to leave the city, and when the order to evacuate came, they hid within the house, and they are still there. See, this is their home, and they could not bear to leave it, or me. My wife, Mundil, my son, Kunir, and my daughter, Fiona, they will not be accounted for when Myrdal rations out the food. If I do not steal some of the food for them, they'll go hungry. So, I have set aside a small amount. Please have mercy on me. Ooh, what will you do? If you turn me in, you will do my family. Help me, or do nothing. Better that they have my family's lives upon your conscience if you do. Oh, boy. It's always... There's always one. What do I do? Alright, very well. Yeah, well, you understand then. Oh, good.
You have
I
my
am
thanks,
relieved to see
and
this
that of
from
my
my point
family.
of view. You have my family's thanks as well. If you can go to the donut and tell that I will do my best to take care of the rats, I'll be in your debt. Right. Well, we'll see about that. But, in the meantime, I need to go to Imrahil to tell him that I handled the matters that he requested of me. And what will Imrahil say? That we'll find out in the next episode of Piney Plays the Beorning.